gotta think they're maybe racist just because I'm human, they don't want my help. It seems it doesn't really matter if your superpowers fire to the melt.
Hello, welcome to NL Comics mini episode. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've been reading in news. That's me, Lou Gonzalez. I'm joined by John Scott. Siler's going to jump in a little bit. It's not really big comic news been going on. I don't know, did you find anything, John?
I really couldn't find anything.
Yeah, there's just, I guess the big thing is we're all kind of Marvel-wise waiting for the Hellfire Gala. I don't know if we talked about that they announced, because they did that voting thing. Did you hear who eventually won for who's going to be the new, like, the member of the X-Men?
I did not. I'll be honest with you. I have barely read anything since Hoxpox. It's very hard for me to keep up with stuff.
Okay, so they did a voting thing a month. They ran it for since January, and they ran it for a couple months.
No! I have the results of this poll right here.
Yeah,
Polaris.
Polaris won. Which is kind of cool. I have liked her. She's been in X Factor, which they are actually ending X Factor soon, which kind of sucks. But I think they're just refiddling with their titles. I've really liked X Factor so far, because it's been this really weird team where it's North Star is the leader and his sister's there, iBoy, Dakin, Polaris. Oh my god, I can't think of his name right now. Prodigy. It's a bunch of cool characters, and they've also revealed in that book that iBoy's powers are way more powerful than anybody's ever thought of. Was the most recent thing, because basically North Star figured out that he can legitimately see magic, which nobody ever thought that he could do, which makes him way more powerful. He's I can't actually know. It's I don't know how it works, but I can see that there's a spell and kind of what the spell does. They also did a cool thing in that book. The other two cool things, they did two other cool prodigies trying to figure out how decay and stuff works on Krakoa. So they built a body farm in X Factor's headquarters. Which, do you know what that means?
I do not.
So basically, this is a real life thing. So that they took it is in order to just because X Factor is kind of their version of the cops in it. They're investigating to see when mutants die to make sure that they find a conclusive before they get resurrected. So basically, a body farm is where you put bodies to see how they decay, so you could do research, so you can help when you're doing investigations.
Gotcha.
So in the comic, Prodigy just has a bunch of people's dead bodies, even though they're resurrected, just in their headquarters to see how they decay on Krakoa. And the other cool thing they did with that team is oh my god, I just lost it for a second. They're doing stuff with Shatterstar's coming around soon, and they're bringing him back. They did a bunch of stuff with the Mojoverse recently.
Shatterstar, played by everyone's favorite character, Cole Young from.
Oh god, yeah. He looks like a wrestler right now, a WWE wrestler. But they've done cool stuff with Dakin too. They've made it a lot more interesting characterization, character development with him, because he has a talk. Can't remember which character he talks to. He's basically I literally have no idea if anybody actually likes me because of the way my power works, where his pheromone stuff affects people. So he's I literally, besides his family members who are immune, he's I have no idea if anybody actually has genuine feelings towards me ever.
Oh.
Yeah. And that book is also one, and this is saying something for the Hickman X-Men, the queerest book, because it's Dakin's bisexual, North Star's gay, Prodigy's gay, and I can't remember who else is on the team, but pretty much the entire team is not straight, and openly not straight, and it's very interesting. And Shatterstar is part of the doing stuff with them. It's very fun, and it's an interesting thing that they're kind of ending some of these books. And then the newest X book that came out was X Corp, which is real interesting. It's that's the Angel and Monet St. Croix book, and it's basically this is the mutants. It's their kind of way they're handling doing business in the regular world, and it's really interesting. and they're bringing in a bunch of like characters who you haven't seen in a while, like Trinary's like part of their book, and they like apparently Multiple Man is now like one of the smartest characters in like the Marvel universe because he basically uses his ability like Naruto and just makes a bunch of dupes and has them learn stuff and then reabsorbs them.
That's cool.
So like he's like the main scientist in Krakoa,
I
like
mean,
for research.
after all that, I would, yeah.
But yeah, they're doing tons of cool stuff, and this is all leading to the Hellfire Gala, which I think is in July, which is their next big event that's supposed to cross them over into the main MCU a bit more, which is really interesting because they haven't really done too much of that. I'm trying to remember the only book that I've seen them kind of pop around. There's a new book. It's called Children of the Atom. And it's kind of very tangentially X-Men, but it's about like these kids in New York who are super X-Men fans. And they all have like, they're all looks and the character designs are like pseudo or like X-Men. So there's like Kid Cyclops, and it's a girl who has like eye blast. And there's Cherub, who has like kind of an Archangel look. And it's not random. It's something else. There's like a girl that looks like Gambit. There's Daycrawler, looks like Nightcrawler, and the kind of thing is that they're not actually mutants. They appear to be humans, but like Storm and a couple of the X-Men go to talk to them to bring them to Krakoa, and they're like, oh no. But then like Cap shows up, and it's like you can't have these kids running around. And like Storm's like, one, don't call me Oro, it's Storm, and two, why can't they do it? What about all your shitty kids are running around? Is it just because they're mutants? And like Storm just like goes off on Captain America,
As she should.
yeah, and basically like, hey, why is there such a goddamn double standard? And it's really, really cool. But yeah, I've been reading that. All that stuff is really good. I caught up on Future State for DC. Now, do you remember what that is?
That's their next big like event or relaunch event or whatever.
Kind of. So it happened for like a 3-month period, I think from like February or March to April or May. I think it was from like February, March, and April. And basically it was supposed to be that like 5G thing that got turned into this.
Oh, that's right. I remember the 5G one got canceled. Or
yeah, so yeah, all the books jump like, I don't know, decades into the future, kind of. And you see like a bunch of other characters. So I read all the Batman family ones, the Justice League ones, and most of the Superman ones. And there are some interesting concepts, but like
is that the one where they made the Black Batman or whatever it is?
yes. So there are two Batman. There's Bruce, and then there's another one. It's pretty obvious in it that it's so in the Bat family stuff. Oh my god, what's the guy that makes all his weapons? Fox. The Foxes are like major characters in the books because like something happens at Arkham and one of their kids gets like put into a coma, and like so then you're trying to like there's like which is it, and it's very obviously one of the characters because it's a character we've never seen before. It's like, oh, what have you been doing? Oh, why are you late all the time? As like one of the Batmen, but then like it's kind of Gotham's been taken over by like a private police force because of it, and it's like anti-mask, and it's like all shoot to kill. And Red Hood works for them. Nightwing is like the head of the Resistance. Everyone thinks Bruce is dead, and Barbara was captured. It's really interesting. Like but it's like super dark and brutal. And the Superman ones are interesting because there's a lot of like. It's a lot of the other, like, not Superman. Like, so, like, Jonathan is the Superman in Metropolis. And the Suicide Squad book follows Connor.
That's interesting.
Yeah. They're interesting, but they're, like, very dark in, like, goofy ways. And it's actually interesting. I was reading the Grant Morrison JLA Omnibus, and one of the stories from that ties directly into, like, the Justice League book of this, which is interesting. But like it was like one of the stories in Morrison's run is like directly part of this, so it's fine. It's kind of weird because it's like then they went back to their normal stuff. I'm like, well, they never finished these stories, So I guess they're like,
Okay, that's odd. That's why
yeah,
wouldn't you finish it?
they all like leave on cliffhangers, and I guess they're going to address some of the stuff. As yeah, basically the whole world gets screwed because some of the Titans, they make like a Titan Academy, and they screw around with the Dial Hero phone, and summon like the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And
Oh,
they take over a couple of the Titans, including Wally West, and they basically destroy the Earth because they're like unstoppable. Yeah,
again? Oh,
I believe Wally becomes like the Horseman of Famine. It's like it's super dark and like it's interesting. It's not the best, but like it was enough where like I was like I at least want to see where this all pans out. But I don't know. I've had more fun reading old stuff in some newer books from like the third way. So I know you haven't said you're reading, so I'm just going through all my stuff. I read the second issue of that Keanu Reeves book, Berserker or whatever.
oh, I need to read that. I read the first issue and it played out like a teaser trailer.
Yeah, it's very much. The second issue does a lot more backstory, and that's where it was much more interesting. And it kind of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. It is very like Wolverine Weapon X ish, like in the character that doesn't have memories, but it's also very much like Powers. If you've ever read that,
I have read. I've seen the show.
it shows like besides like names and like some base concepts, has like nothing to do
Yeah, I just
much
remember
with the book.
I got it for free or something on my PlayStation.
In your place, because that was Sony's one and only 2 seasons original programming.
One and only, and then they decided let's just license everything, or let's
Mm-hmm.
license everything out or give it to other streaming services.
Yeah. The only other book, because I do want to talk about some shows that came out, even though I haven't watched all of them, was I read the first issue of The Good Asian by...
You were saying this was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to butcher this guy's name. It's Pornsak Pichode, and drawn by Alexandre Tefenicci. They are Asian ancestry. But it is like a really cool, if you like noir, it is total noir, following a Chinese American detective who in the world is the first Chinese American police officer. And this is kind of post World War II, I believe. No, before World War II. It's 1936. So it's kind of like, it takes place in like Chinatown, San Francisco. And he's kind of like this, I don't know if you would say self-hating, but it's like very close to that. And it's very interesting. And the language does not shy away from anything whatsoever for that time period. It's pretty brutal.
I've heard a lot of praise about it, so I'll have to check it out at some point.
Yeah, if you like noir stuff, it is a great noir book. The art is awesome, and the story is like really bold, especially for like the time, but going through the times right now with like Asian Americans. It's an interesting take to do. It's very similar to a lot of like a concept of like exploitation, kind of like like Shaft. Think of it like Shaft, except it's in the 30s, like kind of a detective noir, but like how Shaft interacts with like the black community is very similar to this character where like the Chinese American community in San Francisco. Yeah, but it's cool. It's really heavy, but like it's a cool read. I haven't read like a good detective story in a while, and I love that genre. And it's getting a lot of buzz. It's from Image.
I added it to my list of stuff to watch. I'm gonna see if like Hoopla has it too.
Mm-hmm. And then, have you checked out? So speaking of like watching, have you checked out because that Malar TV show just dropped, the Jupiter's?
I have not yet because besides like Bad Batch, I've been watching and other stuff. This also decided to this weekend specifically of when we're recording decided to be the weekend where Netflix decided to drop everything. So there was, we have besides Jupiter's Ascending Legacy, I have Castlevania, Love, Death, and Robots Volume 2. I have The Woman in the Window. I just got Mass Effect. I have that new Angelina Jolie HBO Max movie to watch.
Yeah, I've heard pretty much good things about the Jupiter show. It's only 8 episodes. I will probably blow through it this week. I'm hopeful. I'm not the biggest fan of Millar's work. I've never read the comic though, but you know,
I'm not a fan of Millar after the shit we had to read.
yeah, which isn't even the worst of his stuff. But like, I don't know, it could be adapted very well. The costumes look cool. Sorry, I had to scratch my head.
No, you're good.
It's interesting. I did finish watching. I don't remember if I talked about it last time. And Invincible was awesome. Like, I'm going
I
to
still
read the
have not
comic.
watched it because I don't have Prime.
Amazon?
I have a friend's account, but I need to watch it.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's only like I think that's only like 8 or 9 episodes too. I love
8
that. It's
episodes.
that's like the best length for a show. But that's been really good. I have been watching Flash because I'm a masochist, and it is.
God, I haven't even seen anything past like anything post Crisis. I haven't seen.
It's really not worth it. They're doing a storyline that I think we've talked about before when it came out in the comics, and it's real dumb. Like, real dumb.
That show needs to be canceled.
It needs to end, and we have Carlos is leaving, who plays Cisco, and what's his name is also leaving the show. And they pretty much in the most recent episode kind of wrap that up. Of like
Kavanaugh and
Carlos Valdez.
Carlos Valdes.
Yeah, they're both leaving, and they kind of set that up in the last episode. But we have seen some leaked shots from them filming that Impulse is going to join the cast, at least for an episode, which is going to be real interesting because I don't know how they're going to make that fit in.
Apparently, that show just hit its 150th episode, so.
Yeah, well, they're 2 years behind Arrow, so now this will put them 1 year behind.
Oh, no, yeah. Impulse is like actually just joining the cast. It's not an episode. He's just straight up joining the cast.
Yeah, which will be interesting because in the comics, I'm pretty sure him and Excess are siblings, and they're Barry's grandkids. So it'll be interesting.
So I'm looking right now. He is going to be a recurring guest character. He's not the character from the comics or the Young Justice cartoon. He is much older. He'll be Barry and Iris' future son. Also, XS is going to be coming back apparently for the 150th
Okay,
episode.
yeah. So him and XS will be siblings, but instead of being their grandkids, they're going to both be their kids.
Yeah.
That's fine, I guess. Yeah, him being older is weird, but I guess it would be fun, but it would also kind of come off super corny because Impulse is like 13 normally. Like, he's a kid. Like, he's not a teenager. Like, he's a kid, like, and stuff. And, but I like Impulse as a character. And he's much more well-known than XS, so be an interesting dynamic to have him show up.
So is the mirror shit done?
Yes. That ended when they came back, like, immediately.
Thank God.
Oh, no, that was better than what they are now.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing the forces. The strength force, the still force, and the Sage Force. But you know what's different? It's kind of like they're Iris and Barry's kids because they gave birth to them. And you know who the villain is?
Who is it? The Speed Force?
Yep.
No. I hate it. 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 I hate it.
And her lightning is all the colors they've shown.
God, remember when Diggle's supposed to show up on the show at some point this season?
Oh, I really doubt that's going to happen.
He's apparently his cast.
He's done it before.
He's supposed to show up like soon. Like there's a couple of things.
They had Argus show up in like one of the more recent episodes because they did a trial, which was actually really cool. It was one of the few cool things they did because it was much less Flash and turned into kind of like a mini version of God Loves Man Kills, where like kind of addressing the fact that like how metas have changed the world and people like shitting their pants about them like existing so much. Because the idea is they arrest Frost for her crimes that she committed earlier, and they want to make set a precedent and forcefully give her the Metacure.
Wait, sorry. I forgot that David Ramsey's showing up on Superman and Lois.
Oh, I did not know that.
He is going to be the 12th episode of the series is going to be.
That's coming back this week. That show is awesome.
I'm gonna watch it all. I think once the
It drops on Max.
yeah, I'm just gonna watch it all.
That's what I'm gonna do with this final season of Black Lightning and Supergirl. I'm gonna wait till they finish up.
Yeah, once they finish, I'm just gonna watch what I missed, and then the same goes with Batwoman. I should probably finish. Stargirl I still need to catch up on. I'm pretty bad at that.
Yeah, well, it's only the one season, and I think it's like 13 episodes. Stargirl.
Yeah, it's not that long. It's 13. 13.
Yeah, and it's definitely better than other stuff. Oh, I forgot Legends came out. I haven't even started the new season of Legends.
Oh, I forgot that. I haven't finished the 5th season. I don't think.
It was okay. It was not as strong as the other ones.
Yeah, that show's getting long in the tooth too. I think we should just like stop with this stuff and just put all their stuff on HBO Max.
Well, yeah. Oh, the thing is, if you watch Superman and Lois, you're like, oh, these other shows look like dog shit. Like, there's an obvious, very big difference in budget. Like, a bunch of them look like they were filmed with like iPhones, and then Superman and Lois looks like a movie. But yeah, I don't know. Is there any other? You haven't been reading any? Is there any other things or comics or anything you've been watching?
Like I did finish The Walking Dead Telltale as at the time of this recording. I literally just finished it before we started. No, I'm not okay. I am an emotional wreck, and I will not be taking questions at this time. But I will be very excited to jump into something hopefully later with Mass Effect. I'm probably wrong, but
Mass Effect's pretty much lighter.
I literally just did 4 seasons and a mini series back to back to back to back of The Walking Dead Telltale, which is emotionally draining.
Yeah, I have Returnal, and I've been playing that like on and off because it's like so dark and heavy. It's really good. It's a very interesting idea to do a third-person shooter, what do you call it, roguelike. But it's
I'm
like
not a rogue fan, that's the thing.
but it plays like a third-person action game. But if you like the aesthetic of like Alien or maybe like a Prometheus, like that kind of really dark, very alien kind of a world, like it is super, like it's very haunting. And it's very creepy. Like the thing with the house is like super creepy. Which is weird because like I know the Resident Evil just came out and I get it. But I have not played a Resident Evil game since 3, I think. That was Nemesis, right?
Yes. I don't think I've ever played a Resident Evil, but that's because I'm just a big old scaredy cat.
Yeah, they were cool. I'm not a big horror game fan. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't like jump scares. Like, they're not super interesting to me. So yeah, like, I don't know. I haven't been playing or trying to think if I've been watching it. Oh, I watched The Mitchells versus the Machines.
What a great fucking movie.
Oh, so good.
That movie is
very good.
consistently hilarious.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and it was really fun. I liked...
Dog, pig, loaf of bread.
Yeah, the only voice acting I didn't really get behind was it Eric Andre that does the little brother?
No, he is the big tech guy.
Oh, who's the little brother?
The little brother is actually the director of the movie.
Oh, yeah, he's the one voice I was just like, we could have gone somewhere else.
Yeah, Mike Rianda is his name.
Okay, we could have...
He is known as, before Mitchells vs. Machines, it's his feature directorial debut. He is also the creative director and writer for season 1 of Gravity Falls and creative consultant of season 2.
Yeah, like the story of the movie is so good. Danny McBride and Maya Rudolph are great.
Jacobson, I think.
Yeah, she's the girl. Yeah, like it's such a good concept.
Olivia Colman is having such a fun time.
Oh, she's great. And then what's their
names?
Like the whole two...
put me on the table so I can flop around in an uncontrollable rage.
The 2 robots, because it's what's his name that was the new live action Tick.
Fred Armisen and Beck Bennett, actually.
Yeah, Beck Bennett. I think he was the one that was...
No, that was Peter Serafinowicz. For the Tick?
Oh, that was what... Okay, never mind. It's... What's his name from SNL? Yeah, Beck Bennett.
Beck Bennett, he's on DuckTales.
Okay, when I saw his picture in IMDb, he looks very similar in his IMDb photo to the guy from the Tick.
He's gonna be on MODOK, actually.
Yeah, which is interesting.
That's coming out, I think, this week.
Is it really? I wonder
Yeah,
if
May
are they
21st
gonna
on Hulu.
drop the whole season?
Yeah. So all 10 episodes are coming on May 21st.
It'll be interesting to see. Like, it is a very distinct art style.
All right, so I'm looking at like the cast list for that. By the way, the guest cast besides John Hamm. So John Hamm, Tony Stark, Nathan Fillion as Wonder Man,
That's awesome.
Whoopi Goldberg as Pound Cakes,
Like,
Bill Hader as the leader,
that's great casting.
and also he's going to be Angar the Screamer. But yeah, Beck Bennett is MODOK's new boss. Yeah, I'll find a way to watch this. I heard very good things about it. My friend, gonna cross promote real quick. My friend interviewed Jordan Bloom for Gatecrashers, so go check that out.
That's awesome.
Oh, this is nice. I'm reading right now about MODOK. It's the co-creator was allowed to give the series its own multiverse destination, so he named it Earth 1226 for his son's birthday.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool.
That's cool. Good for him. I hope it's funny. I do hope it's funny.
Yeah, with Patton Oswalt behind it, I have pretty good hopes for it. So, yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So yeah, I guess that wraps us up kind of on the comic stuff. And everything else. Like, I don't even know what else to talk about.
Yeah, that's
So-
kind of our catch-up. We haven't done one of these in a while, so...
Yeah, so this will be like a quick little mini-sode. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I guess I'll join the Great Lakes Avengers. They offered me a membership, and so I did, except I better walk into disaster.